What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kinda Funny Morning Show for Wednesday, July 26th, 2017. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
When you type in aerobics into Twitch and Twitter and try to get a GIF of it, the first thing that comes up is the aerobics championship.
It is not.
I swear to God, and I think it's because we helped popularize. I don't know what's going on here. Why do I look like a little?
I know you looked really small, but I wasn't gonna say anything. I just thought that's how it was.
I'm so small all the time.
Small. You want me to go up more?
No, come down. Yeah, now this.
How high can you get?
Don't. You're always gonna. One of these days you're gonna. Oh Christ! No,
I wonder why the chair is broken.
I wonder why the chair is broken.
I know.
Full weight of
Flash forward a week from now when he's bitching about our chairs are always broke. Why can't we get a decent size? He's jumping up and down on them like they're a fucking bed.
You know, I didn't want to do this to you. I gotta write you up for a ticket.
Did you peel the scars off of your fingers again? What's going on with you?
What you're supposed to do with scars.
Is that?
Scabs, yeah.
Scabs.
You peel them right off.
Just eat them right off? It's gross. It's gross. Joker Bunny 6666 said, did Nick read the homework? Thank you.
That's your ticket.
$5?
Being an ass.
Being an ass.
$5 ticket off my Sheikah slate.
What is this? What does that say?
Oh, you owe.
Oh.
It's
or is that do?
It clearly says O.
How do you spell O? Oh, that's a W.
O-W-E.
I thought that's a U. I thought you spelled it O-U-E like the Londoners do.
I was trying. I was trying to find the right GIF to put up with my post about the show, but I'm just gonna put this up because that's what time it is. All right,
Is that
time
Katy
for
Perry?
my favorite Kinda Funny morning show, the comics episode. Let's talk Wicked and Divine.
Great.
Kinda Funny games.
I like how you're actually pretty smart. You give people context as to what we're going to do. I just tweet out random gibberish.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Just
it's
in the hopes that someone silly will want to come
here
join us.
every day. They don't care what else is going to happen. Now, somebody somewhere was asking if Nick did the homework.
Asked via the chat.
In the chat.
Who in the chat said that?
Joker 666, something like that.
Do you already cover this is the Kinda Funny morning show? I'm Greg.
Joker Bunny
This is the
666.
producer/seducer Nick Scarpino.
Thank you. Hi.
Today is my favorite episode of the Kinda Funny morning show each and every week where we talk about comics. We also talk. We run you through the nerdy news we want to talk about from the world of entertainment as well. But we talk about comics and we do the required reading. And we all have a great time about that. Yes, Nick has read The Wicked and the Divine Volume 1.
Volume 1.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, of course.
I like how you're clapping, not for the fact that I've read the homework, but the fact that I read. You're just like, no, Nick did something new. It's super fun.
You read all the time. You read
That's
those
true.
weird vampire books. You keep you bring your fucking magazines on planes and Ziploc bags.
I love them.
American cinematographer.
Yeah, man, I gotta stop with those though.
Yeah,
now they're taking up too much space in on my desk. I'm like, why am I collecting these magazines? I'm not gonna go back and read them.
Yeah,
I might give them away.
Sure,
I might bundle them up, just saran wrap the shit out of them, and just send them off to one lucky best friend.
Well, you should know.
Here's knowledge of all these.
You should do is we should get them. Mm-hmm. We should go over to Mike Arancey's house about 3 in the morning and just toss them all on his lawn.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Wet him down a little bit.
Yeah.
So when he wakes up in the morning, it's just totally.
He tries to pick them up and they fall apart.
He's like,
his kids out there playing in them, eating them.
Kids eating them.
Yeah.
Got newspaper print all over her face. Dies of poison.
His wife screaming at him, Mike, why are you hanging out with these hooligans from Kinda Funny?
Life, you know what I mean?
And we just do some donuts in his yard and we drive off.
In my Honda.
Here's my next question.
Honda can't even do donuts.
And Kevin, I'm looking at you on this one too. I think this is what do you say? This weekend, 3 in the morning, we go toilet paper Mike Arancey's house.
I am 100%.
Who wants to go fucking toilet paper Mike Arancey's house?
I would love to do that. I am in Lake Tahoe this weekend. Is the only reason I can't.
You're key to the whole thing.
I know.
Nick's not home.
You can't TP his apartment building. That doesn't work at all.
Here's the deal. Please don't TV my apartment building because everyone that lives in my apartment building they don't give a fuck about anything. That toilet paper will stay there for years.
Well, I mean, you can't TP an apartment building.
You can TP the fire escape.
For sure, Kevin and I can't do it. Maybe Cool Greg could throw a toilet paper 16 stories and get it over the top of the house. I don't think the toilet paper is that long.
Our property
Our
property management company cares so little about us that toilet paper would stay up there forever. Forever.
I don't like that.
It's San Francisco. They don't have to give a shit. They're all basically like slumlords at this point.
Whoa.
But I'm totally down to start up. I think that the problem is, though, at 37 years old,
right.
I think you probably could legitimately be like arrested and put in jail for vandalism.
No.
But I'm not quite sure.
No cop in the world is going to arrest you. Thank you. Yeah. We pick up some minors, we give them some booze, we bring them there, have them toilet paper with us, then we fucking leave. Then you know what it is, the cops show up, you know, cops show up, you know what you do? You take out your little baton nightstick, crack the kid in the head, crack the other kid in the head, and be like, officer, we found these kids doing bad stuff. We're here to stop them.
killed them.
We're old people. You can trust us.
Yeah.
They shake our hands, key to the city. They give it to us on the spot.
Awesome.
Then they turn around, plant drugs on those kids. They go away forever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a great plan.
I'm
Do the
full of them.
kids suffer forever because of the concussions, like from brain damage?
Yeah, they never wake up.
They're just vegetables. They're in permanent vegetative state for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that is the downside of those, wands. I don't
Batons,
know.
yeah, like the extendable nightsticks, yeah.
Once had a friend.
Yeah.
In Missouri, of course.
Yeah, of course.
This friend had multiple DUIs. At one point, he had to have one of those things on his truck that to turn it on, he had to blow into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he blew anything, then the cops would come. Eventually lost his license, of course.
Yeah.
However, so much trouble with police, and such a renegade this guy was. They were having a party in a field or some shit. And the cops show up to break this thing up. Like, stop having this party in this field. And they go, these some good old country kids out there having a thing. And everybody's fine. And my friend wasn't throwing the party. But my friend, of course, being the asshole he is, when he was leaving with his drink in his hand, everybody's like, they're like, leave. He's like, all right. And he went and he bumped into the cop. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And went like this and totally lifted the baton. This guy who had 3 DUIs, license taken away, all this other shit, enough trouble with the police, just stole the baton, then came to our house party, and he like, look what I got. We're like, what the fuck?
This guy's a baller, man.
He was. Had sex with a girl in another field and had a baby. And now he's settled down with a baby.
Oh, that's
Did it work out well?
shocker. Huge surprise that he
I don't know.
knocked
I mean,
someone
I
out.
only catch up once in a while through Facebook.
Yeah, but
That's
it
wild.
makes
Hadn't
sense.
talked to him in years, and one day I just got a text message. Hey, Blue, I made this in a field after homecoming last year. There was a baby. And I'm like, all right. It's a weird reintroduction to each other after like 7 years, but
The
cool.
life you've lived. Hey, Blue.
Hey,
Yeah.
Blue.
Going back to your original plan to TP Mike Aranci's house
Yes.
and then frame and or murder 2 underage people, Turncoat says
Whoa.
Greg's plan is foolproof.
Yeah.
It's foolproof. Like, what can go wrong?
They're gonna. You tell me they're not gonna trust us, upstanding pillars of the society, and not to mention none of you are gonna rat on us. You're best friends. You want to see how this plays out.
That's
No,
true.
no cop, no old ass dusty judge is gonna know how to fucking find this Twitch clip.
The thing is, they're gonna try, but we can't even find clips. We have to go to the audience for that.
If Johnny Cochran was still around, he might
Yeah.
be able to find the clip and prove his case, but he's
Johnny
not.
Cochran is a badass.
So it's okay.
Is he dead?
He is dead. You
Is
remember
that-
this?
is Shapiro? Oh, Shapiro's still alive.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kinda Funny Morning Show each and every weekday here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news we want to talk about before on days like Wednesday talking about comics, and then jumping in the chat to answer questions, comments, and concerns. We also give away a video game. You can win it by subscribing to us here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames.
Oh, what a
Remember,
cheap break.
if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, please give it to us. We'd love that money. You can go to Patreon and enter that way. And of course, you can just be here and do it. So let's jump in.
Are you hungry?
First. Yeah, no, I had been warned that amazing donuts were coming from Seattle today
Adrian.
that I had never had before. But I couldn't not eat. I couldn't not eat.
You
know what
got
I mean?
some breakfast in
Yeah,
there.
great.
That's good.
I want to
okay.
run through these stories to get the comics.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
First story is the boring one because Nick's boring and built this. Over at IGN.com, Luke Riley says John Wick shared universe reportedly eyed with ballerina thriller.
You can bring him on.
Lionsgate has scooped up a female-led spec script called Ballerina that is apparently set to be used to launch a possible John Wick spin-off film according... Here we go, hold on.
Holy shit.
Kevin, you're gonna have to... This is gonna be some...
Kevin, this is a Sky
thank you
Cam
so
moment.
much. Thank you, random man from Seattle.
Thanks, Adrian. Holy crap.
Oh my God! Look at those.
Why are they so
Look
big?
outside.
Where are these from now? What is this?
Oh, look, I can eat this one. It's got bacon
Legendary
on it.
Donuts, ever-changing, unique varieties, hand-rolled, cut every day. These are giant. These are giant, Cool Greg.
Oh my God, this is when
Can we
you
get like a
test
knife,
it,
Cool
sir.
Greg? We're gonna have to cut into some of these. I want some of this
Can you
bacon
get
one for sure.
2 or 4?
Yeah, plates and stuff would be
How's
good
that
too.
situation?
Weak. I bet it's weak-ass weak.
Greg just said he has film.
Okay.
Apologies for interrupting that story.
Lionsgate reportedly beat out Warner Brothers and Universal for rights to the Ballerina, which will be produced by Basil Iwanik production company. Thunder Road Pictures is behind the John Wick franchise. Details remain thin, but Ballerina apparently sees a young woman trained and raised as an assassin on the trail of the killers that murdered her family. Script is written by 23-year-old Shay Hatton, currently working as the assistant writer for Robert Downey Jr.'s production company, Team Downey. IGN can confirm Lionsgate's option to the script, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. However, while possible it may be connected to John Wick, it's not yet set in stone. Well,
Now, have you seen John Wick?
No.
Now, I think you'd like John Wick once, for
Yeah.
one. It is an unabashed, straightforward, like, this is what we're doing. It is 100% pure action. And in fact, in doing so, it's a very artfully made movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what's cool about it is they build this interesting world, this underground world of, like, of like this crime lord lore, basically. And in the second one, they push it even further to let you know it's like all over the world, and there are all these like different types of clans in this basically fucking like underground crime world that John Wick is like this god in, basically. So I think it's cool that they're actually going to play more in that world and potentially tie more stuff into it. That's my opinion.
If it happens, cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Okay.
Again, all this stuff's like, it's similar to Fast and Furious. We're like, oh, we're going to get a spinoff there? Cool, why not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not? It's a world that I think is interesting and they can do cool stuff with.
Okay.
That's all she wrote.
I'm thrown.
Why?
I'm thrown by the next story.
Nah.
You don't want to do it?
Nah.
Okay. Then we're moving on to the next story. Location-based VR wants to ruin whatever.
Now, VR, as you know, we had a great time playing Echo Arena the other day.
Yeah.
VR is not necessarily a bad thing, but stories like this give me pause.
Like kitty cat paws?
Yeah, like kitty cat paws. This comes over from Variety. It says, the spiders are everywhere. Hundreds of them are crawling all over barely lit brick walls and ceilings. Soon, you start to feel them on your neck and arms. You try to shake them off. Hurry around the corners of the dark catacomb, only to find yourself eye to eye with a giant sea serpent lunging out of the water, ready to attack. Your heart starts to racing for a second. You forget that none of this is real. The dragon, the spiders, and the mysterious catacombs, no shit, and ghostly inhabitants are all part of an elaborate virtual reality experience called Curse of the Serpent's Eye.
Yeah.
Built in VR by a VR startup called The Void, Curse is premiering next month at a company's headquarters in Linden, Utah, where visitors are being asked to put on helmet-like VR headsets, special haptic feedback vests, and computer integrated into backpacks. Basically, without any cables tying them down, users are free to explore a set of measures close to 700 square feet and combines a virtual world with real walls, doors, tangible props, and good old imagineering tricks like fans blowing hot air whenever the display in your headset shows fire. And you can do all of this with up to 3 friends, so you won't be the only one screaming when you feel those spiders. I'm going to scroll down here to the part where they talk about movies. Sorry, this is a fucking long article. The Void's first commercial experience was a VR adaptation of Ghostbusters, which is a company produced in partnership with Sony Pictures. Behind the scenes, the company is already working on other titles based on movie franchises. The studios are looking for new revenue streams. Palmer says, we have one, and it's it's one that's easy for them to relate to. So my question for you is this.
Yeah.
You don't like going to movie theaters that much.
No.
You hate it.
No, I don't hate it. It's an experience. Okay.
If you, me, and the rest of the guys could go into a room and experience Ghostbusters in VR with real, like, effects coming on you, proton packs,
I've heard a lot of good
feedback,
thing
all
about this
stuff.
New York event they have, or New York Ghostbusters VR thing they have. Yeah.
Would you do it?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
But that's not a movie. That's a video games.
They're taking movie adaptations, things like that, and putting them into VR world. Well, I think it'd be cool. But I don't like. Well, actually, I guess I wrote the misleading headline on that one.
Location-based VR wants to ruin movie theaters.
Is the big bet for movie theaters and malls.
It's the only way to keep it alive, right? To do something.
That's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But does that really get you out? Because you have VR in your home.
Yeah, well, I don't even want to. Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, if Ghostbusters was here, we'd go do it. But I do it once probably. I want to go do it again, right?
You'd probably do it like 10 times.
No, maybe. You don't know where it's coming. The other thing that threw me on, because there was a lot of things happening all at once, was the fact that I said, bring the knife so we can cut up these donuts, right? Mm-hmm. Kevin came over, took a giant one, and walked away. Tim came in, took a giant one, and walked away. I commend these men out there eating giant donuts.
Man, these
are insanely large donuts.
These look fucking insane.
Okay.
Quickly go through this next news story. This is another VR-related story. Alejandro Inarritu turns to virtual reality with Carne y Arena. Location-based VR is beginning to blossom in museums as well as in dedicated theaters. Alejandro Inarritu, award-winning director of Birdman, created the Carne y Arena Meat and Sand VR exhibit, which debuted at Cannes, as well as the film festival's official selections. As one of the film festival's official selections, the exhibit was also installed at Milan, Fondazione's Prada, and has been on display at the Los Angeles County Museum. Long story short is, participants begin their journey in a room similar to the cell in which the U.S. Border Patrol holds detainees, and after moving barefoot into another room, this one is covered in sand and pebbles with a metal barricade on one side. They put on VR goggles to watch and interact with those making a dangerous journey through the desert. By using VR as a method of reframing the immigrant experience, Inarritu has tapped into the format's potential as a tool for cultivating change via an immersive experience. I thought that was a cool follow-up for me bashing VR for ruining movie theaters. I think it's interesting to see.
How's it ruining movie theaters? It's trying to keep them relevant. Get people out and do a shared experience.
I'm just joking around.
Okay.
I'm a purist.
Okay.
I like to go to the movie theater. I like to have the hard chairs that don't recline. I like to have the popcorn that you can tell is bad for you.
They got popped like fucking 4 years ago and has been sitting in a trash bag waiting to be put out.
But it's cool.
Almo's popcorn is super stale.
You just hate Alamo. I can't trust you
No,
anymore.
I love the taste of it. It is extremely stale, and it makes me mad.
Can't trust you anymore.
I like Alamo. I really do. I
Yeah.
really need them to up their food game though.
Yeah,
I
the
think
food game
that's-
in San Francisco and Alamo is no good.
I need
In
it.
Texas, great.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, but again, you're horrible. You hate them. There's too much light. Oh, the
There's
light.
a bright light in my fucking face.
It's not bright. It's just a light.
Blows my mind.
But it is true also that in Texas, I went and saw Spider-Man again with Geneviève St. Ange-Melaire, and there the lights were much dimmer. So there is something to your argument.
I just why not put an off switch? That's all I'm saying. Put an off
Because some moron won't be able to find it, of course.
They'll be like, excuse me.
I don't wanna look at
Little
anything.
glowing ring around the off switch.
Then you bitch about the glowing ring.
Sinopolis does. No, that's fine. Sinopolis nailing it. Which one do you want?
No, then you put an off switch for the little ring.
Now this
right,
one has bacon on it,
that you
Yeah.
control with your phone.
and possibly bacon.
Yeah, that's. Give me the knife. I'm gonna go for that guy. Can I get
for that
Skycam? Does Cool Greg know how to
Cool Greg
Skycam?
hit Skycam.
That is a liberal slice of donut, my friend.
No, I don't want the ends. I want the middle.
Oh, you want the middle.
I'll take the end.
You don't want the end?
I'll take an end.
All right, there's plenty of donuts to go.
Cool
to.
Greg.
Sorry, guys.
I feel like it's
You'll
just
get an
donut in the middle.
It is.
And that's why he wants it though.
Thank you.
I thought it. The one I just
Cool
had
Greg, cut
earlier
wide.
had donut in it.
Just good bacon.
There's so many good options.
Kevin.
Oh yeah, it's bacon.
No, dude, I have to. Come on, I'm having a
Kevin.
fucking
Where's
shit
the
day,
bacon in
guys.
Kevin.
Why is Dave so bad?
It's lots of reasons. Let's talk about it afterwards.
Is it Paul?
Oh God, that makes it better.
Next news story. This isn't much of a news story. I just thought this was a really cool article and actually would make a fascinating GOG topic, similar to our topic about ranking the Avengers games. Avengers movies, excuse me. This comes from Zach Ezer over at IO9. He says, all 28 DC animated original movies ranked. Not a news story, just kind of cool to see. His dead last place, Batman the Killing Joke.
Wow.
I would almost agree with that, though. I did
And
not
No way.
I did not
Scroll up.
like
What's
that.
28?
28 is Batman the Killing Joke.
What's 27? Sorry, I count the wrong way.
Superman Unbound. That wasn't great, yeah.
Oh, Batman
no
Assault on
fucking
Arkham at
way.
26? This guy's full of shit.
Zach, you're out of your fucking gourd, my friend.
My thing is, like, I don't know if all of us have seen enough.
I've seen all these.
I know, well, me too, but I mean, like, has Nick or Tim? You know what I mean?
Probably not, no.
Big Kev Dog, can I get a napkin and a coffee?
Yes, sir.
And a coffee. Can I get a coffee too?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Now,
Yeah,
these
that's
are,
an
now,
interesting
to be
topic.
fair, these are the DC animated original movies. These aren't like the ones. Who's the studio that does more of the anime style with them? They just did one with Constantine and all that stuff.
The anime style?
It's like Mad Cats, not Mad Cats.
No, not Mad Cats for sure.
Anyway, so this is the original. I thought it was pretty
What
cool.
number one?
Let's look through. What's your guess? Can you think of?
I would think
anyone?
Red Hood, Under the Red Hood.
Just scrolled right past the rest of it. Under the Red Hood, nailed it.
Hell
oh no,
yeah.
I'm sorry. These do feature those because these guys did Flashpoint Paradox, which I just scrolled past it. Crisis on Two Earths was cool. Wonder Woman was good.
Well, that's a great segue into comics. Of course, Nicholas. Wednesday
Yeah.
is Comic Day, which is one of the only theme shows we have for the morning show.
Love it.
Where we do required reading. We announce a new comic book everybody needs to read, a volume usually. Then we go through and review it the next week. Last week, we told everyone that those donuts are good. I'm just going to say that right now, right? The donuts are good.
They look good.
They're making me salivate after
They
I've
look
eaten
good.
one. That's the power of sugar. Last week, we told everybody to go read.
Power of sugar.
Bink, bink, bink.
It's the power
Baby.
of sugar.
Oh, we told everyone to go read The Wicked and the Divine.
Yes.
Volume 1. Synopsis, if you didn't do your homework, of course, is that the gods come back every, 90 years? Yeah, and they're only alive for 2 years once they realize they're gods or whatever, and they take on a new form every time. This time it's pop stars.
Right.
So they're all crazy musician pop stars. Gods are there, Lucifer's there, people are there. What did you think of Volume 1, Nicholas?
I liked it. They had me at the first image you see. I think they do those beautiful renderings of each of the gods for each of the segments. And the first one you see is Lucifer, and she looks a lot like Bowie. And I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's like that 80s Bowie style, like that, not Iggy Pop, what the hell? What was Bowie's alter ego? Ziggy Stardust.
Yep.
Like that style where she's got like the coloring. And it reminds me, it's oddly reminiscent of, you ever go into like a hair salon in the 80s and they had that cool style of like, this is what it's going to look like. I love that. I love that. So they got me right there.
Yeah.
Going through it, I was a little more confused than I think I wanted to be.
Sure.
I felt...
You read Wick and the Divine too, right?
Yeah, I read a lot of it.
Okay, come back here, talk it out with us.
So I liked it. I think they embraced that, though. I think that the authors knew that the reader was going to be a little confused, because even the main character, is who's the protagonist, you're viewing this whole world through her.
Through her lens.
She's telling you all about it. She even has to Google some shit at a certain point. Like, it's the first comic I've ever seen where she pulls up her phone and starts Googling shit.
Right.
And I was like, oh, good, because at that moment, I wanted to do that. I was about to Google that name to see if it was a real god and what that god was, and she did it for me, which was cool. What's your first impression of it?
I mean, I wanted to love it.
Yeah, me too.
The first, so I think it was I read the hardcover, which included volumes 1 through 3, I think.
Okay. Looks like not the omnibus, I guess, but whatever. Yeah.
Anyways, the art style was, I think, beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's beautifully drawn.
The story itself, like the idea of it, I think is
the nut of the story is really good. Yeah,
really good. And like going in and being like, okay, it's gonna get better. I just never felt like it was gonna get better. And my biggest issue was it was so confusing.
Yep.
There was so many times like I felt so disconnected from the like
protagonist?
I didn't know who any of the gods were. No, like just even like the roster of the people.
Right.
Like where it's like, oh, it's all these people. And it's like, man, all right, I recognize a couple. Like it's cool that they picked out of like Irish mythology, and all
Norse mythology. We had Christian mythology with Lucifer. We had I think there was some Hindu. And
my problem, I think, overall was that Lucifer just shines so bright.
Right.
She was so cool, and I was like hanging with her the entire time. And so when it was we branched out into these other gods we're seeing for a little bit. It's a comic book too, so like I didn't like when the guy shows up with the severed head of the one and throws it down, and she starts talking. I was like, did he kill her? And he's making her head talk. This is all an illusion. He did. Oh no, she's still. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
It was just so disjointed. As if you guys were to continue reading, that doesn't go away.
Yeah, how much you read all 3? Did you stop there? You read the 3 volumes, you think?
I think that there's a 4th volume. No, I'm halfway through the 4th volume just because I'm a completionist and I wanted it like I'm determined that it was
so many people really like this.
Exactly,
I've heard about the Wicked and the Divine forever, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it did not click for me.
No,
I loved the art. I liked the idea of it.
Well,
I enjoyed the character. Oh, really? Does it get better or worse?
4, worse.
Ow.
Yeah. I mean,
and I guess that's
from what I
subjective.
like.
Happens.
That's subjective.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. In my opinion, it goes from what I like to like a style where I was like, oh man.
That happens in every comic book though. Like the same thing happened in it was Walking Dead and Invincible.
Yeah.
Like I feel like at a certain point they were just like, it's too hard to get this art done.
Oh, for sure. That's. I mean, Walking Dead was
that.
so detailed that then they went Charlie Adler, who's don't get me wrong, talented and has his own art style, but I always miss the original run of Walking Dead art for that for sure. And Invincible went the opposite way, I feel personally, where it went from Rathburn, was he the first one? And then it jumps to Otley, and I think Otley's work is so fucking amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so detailed.
I like the things I like about it was I like that they set this world up. I agree that I would have liked I needed it as jumping right in a little bit slower to be fed to me, especially when we started getting like Ball and like he's wounded in Valhalla, but there's more balls, and I'm like, I just don't understand how any of this is going on. We're introduced to way too many characters way too quickly, and it's too complex for any one of us to really kind of comprehend. But I like that at the base of it, it's a noir murder mystery story. Who killed the judge?
And that was my thing, is like it had great moments. Like you're talking about the nut of the idea. They're back there having the interview.
When she
finally is like, fuck it, and kills the 2 guys. I was like, that's awesome. And then in court when she doesn't, like, oh, it's not gonna happen, and it happens. She's like, I didn't do that. I was like, this is fucking
cool.
awesome.
Like
yes,
this,
all right, cool. And then when she breaks out, I was like, yes.
This kid has to work with the reporter, figure out what's going on, and it becomes a detective story. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, totally.
But like following that story through, I did not appreciate where all those things ended.
Sure.
Like if you were to read the next 2 volumes.
Oh, okay.
I think that it'll it's a cool build-up, but unfortunately not a great payoff. And
interesting,
leaves me wanting for I wish they had done things differently.
Yeah. Spidey 3 in the chat says, when the series ends, I'll read it all together. Has there been an announced ending for this? Is this a game?
I mean, you would think with the idea of they only live for 2 years.
Yeah.
max.
And then they have to come back. So probably it'll end in a year, and then we won't see it again for another 90 years.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Kind of want to make out with you right now.
Don't make out with them.
Give it to me. You smell like a donut. You smell good. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say for me on that one. I really liked it. It gave me like.
Oh, okay, hold on. In the chat, Warren Pulowski says Gillen, who was the writer, I assume, says it'll likely go for around 60 issues.
60 issues. It's good to tell a story with.
Yep.
I like it. I like that it's twisted. I like that there's like a deep level of like perversion and sexuality to it. It gave me vibes of like Wanted. It gave me vibes of like Preacher. You know.
I feel like it was a little bit exaggerated where they'd be like, yeah,
it's a little too
we
much.
had sex with these people, and it's like, all right, that did not add anything.
But I needed to hear it
to the
because I wanted to
story.
see it.
You know,
I did.
There were a
But
couple times where
Lucifer
it did
talking
work
about
out
eating
where-
girls out. I'm like, yeah, Lucifer, I can get down with you.
Yeah, Lucifer can until you realize two dudes wrote it, and you're like, oh, I
don't care.
I don't know if two dudes wrote it or not. I just.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What is that? Is that one of your porn pet peeves?
No, it's a pet peeve. I don't know. It's just like I become oddly aware of like the authors of
Who
things
actually-
and whose
Thank you,
voice
Cool
is,
Greg.
whose voice is coming out, and then it's like
Get that
I
double
don't
chocolate
know.
one.
This one?
Yeah.
What is that? What is
I
that?
don't know. I want to find out. That's why I'm saying get it. Yeah. Fucking get in there, dude.
Cut it in quarters so you can have all of them. There you go. There you go.
Cut them in quarters so you can have all of them?
One of each of the donuts. You have to have a little
Oh,
taste.
I thought you meant cut this in quarters and then slowly eat all four
Slowly
quarters
all
of
of
it.
it like it's an animal that you've just killed.
So as far as this,
Yeah, that didn't work.
Fought back.
It
The donut
really
fought back.
did.
Oh,
Well,
this is
it's
a jelly.
sticky. It's sticky. Oh, get that jelly, bro.
It's too late. I cut
Bro.
this guy.
Bro.
Let's see what I got going on
So
here.
are you guys gonna keep reading this at all?
No.
No.
My thing is, I went from this, and I was like, you know what? I haven't caught up on Invincible in a while, and it was super late.
Good for you.
It was
man.
super
Oh my
late.
God,
It was-
I have
it was
them all. You want me to
mid-
Bring them in.
Oh no, I got it. It was midnight. I think it was like 12:15 when I finished The Wicked and the Divine, and I was like, and I had to get through it. Or I'm like, I don't really know where this is going, but I'm kind of into it, so I'll keep reading. 12:15, I'm like, you know what? I should catch up on Invincible just in case the guys want to talk about it tomorrow, right? And I had 7 issues of Invincible
what is this,
to catch
peanut
up on,
butter?
which is just how I like to do it. Jesus
It is a
Christ.
peanut butter donut and it is mind blowing.
It smells amazing.
I just like that Kevin's eating down there like my internal monologue.
What is this peanut butter? And I haven't read Invincible in a while, and I had like 7 issues to catch up on. So I'm like, this is a lot, but do I really want to start this at 12?
Real quick, I want to talk about this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Invincible. Are we going spoilers or are we staying spoiler free?
I'm staying spoiler free on this
All right, we're
because I
staying
feel like we're
spoiler-free on
in.
Invincible.
Spoiler-free, yeah.
We are in
Because
the
I-
end of all things.
This is the end of all things, and I feel like we shouldn't spoil this until
What, it was
until
part 6 or
6 of 7,
Yeah.
12. So I hadn't even started the final run here. So I was leading up to the last one I saw was when Mark and Eve were on the planet with the kid, and they were
Yeah,
like, "Oh, we don't want to
Tara.
be a part of this thing anymore." And then, like, spoilers, they got to be fucking. They get dragged every time they think they're out. They get dragged back in. And I had left that off like a few months prior to this. And so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just read one and see if I get into it. And it reminded me
Of how good
of how good it is. Because every time it ended, I was like, no, fuck.
Yeah.
And then you have that thought in your brain where you're like, I'm going to turn the page one more time, and that's going to be the final one, and I got to have to fucking wait another month for this.
Yeah.
And I wanted that out of Wicked and Divine, and it just didn't give it to me. Wicked and Divine, I felt like I was like, this is taxing my brain. It really is a lot of information to comprehend, and there's a lot of stuff they did in it where like the Morgans, the people that were in the fucking subway, that was super confusing.
gods.
Is there 3? I thought there was just 2. One changes shape.
No. There's 2 gods. One of them turns into 3 different people.
Yeah, okay, so that's
Yeah.
good. Right there, you got to have.
I had
Where's
to do
the
research
yeah?
about
Where's the
this,
fuck?
like,
It's too
These
much.
3 gods.
It's too much for me, guys. I'm too stupid to understand this.
Something we fucked up last week.
Yeah,
I
what
think
did
it
we
was
do?
last week.
Lay it on
We
me.
didn't say that Invincible was coming out then.
Yeah, because it was one of
And
my
it was-
my Comixology subscriptions got screwed up because I got that new credit card. And so like it's still telling me, and some of my subscriptions are locked to it. So yeah, it didn't pop up in my pull list of things I
Right,
bought that
right.
week automatically. And I was like, oh okay, it didn't come out. And then got home,
Yeah.
or I saw Otley tweeting about it. I was like, oh what?
I'm so excited with Invincible.
Yeah.
That they're doing this and that like it had gone not stale, it just wasn't exciting anymore. Now when an issue comes out, I'm really, really juiced about it, and
Yeah.
I actually go and get them downstairs because
Yeah.
I like having Invincibles. And man, like I can't believe there's 6 more issues.
I can't
It's
wait.
So close, yeah.
Yeah, I want because like things are starting to happen. Like
Yeah.
no spoilers, but like I
This
feel like
last
Shit went
a
down.
few
Yeah.
of these,
Shit's going down.
the end of all things. Like we just finished part 6 of 12. At 12, it's all over. I thought, okay, all right, we're building,
yeah.
we're building. Let's do something. And then this was the one where something finally happened. It was like, ooh, Okay, like what? When we come back to that, is it going to be? Is that really the end, or is it something else going to happen there? Because they do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they do it all the time in such a way where, like, more often than not, it's fulfilling, right? Like, there's a couple things that happened in the issue after I was talking about where I'm like, oh, okay. Is that like, are we cheating a little bit on this? You know,
They've done that before, though.
They have done that before. They've set that up before. But at the same time, it's like, I don't like that there's things that are just at the author's convenience, right? Where it's like, you're kind of breaking the logic here, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's a fucking comic book, so I'll shut up.
I thought what you're talking about, how I was like, oh, hey, and then when I rebuilt it, it's a little...
Yeah, I'm a little better. I'm a little,
I was like, all right, that's
I'll take it a
hilarious.
little bit. I'll take it for a ride.
Question for you that was dawning on me as we have this great conversation to look around. Has Danny O'Dwyer come in today?
Yeah.
Okay, just making
here.
sure. Okay.
Sitting around.
So I was starting to check my email. Did I screw something up?
Breakfast soda.
Has he had a breakfast donut yet?
No, he has not.
Invite that Irish bastard in here. You know
Would you
what
like
I'm
to
saying?
have one?
Are you excited for anything this week, Nick? Have you run through what's coming out?
I have not. Why don't you run me through it and we'll talk
Well, there's a
about
bunch.
it.
I mean, for me, the big one
do we
is.
got?
I mean, my pick of the week in terms of what I'm excited about is Saga 45.
Saga, I just downloaded all of them.
Oh wow! Have you never read?
I have. I'm caught up to. Oh God, I think I still have like 10 issues left in that one. So I'm sorry. Let me. I misspoke. I downloaded the ones I need. So
Okay.
I was going to try to get to those last night. Saga is one of those that's a little hard with me because it takes me like 2 or 3 more issues to get back into it, and then sometimes I go back and
That's the thing. Saga is definitely one I want to reset all the time and read from one on.
you
Hey,
gotta
Danny,
reset.
Oh my God.
come get a donut, my Irish cream.
Is this just like a weekly thing now?
No, well, these are from Seattle. Our friend,
my God.
Adrian brought these in,
and
so you can get into that.
that
and
one's
take what you
peanut
want.
butter, that one's bacon, and the rest of them are pure sugar. Saga's one of those that I forget. It's so well written, and the characters are so well fleshed out that it's almost a crime to like read it as it's going.
100%.
It's almost one of those where you're like, dude, just wait.
Well,
and
that's
then
one of
buy
my
the
things that I'm
volumes
so
at the
excited
end.
about with Invincible ending is that once we get to 11 of 12,
Go back and read
I'm
them
going to
all.
go and pick up. I have them all there, the Ultimate
that's right,
Collections,
you
the
do.
giant blown up ones, and sit there and read them all and just get all the way caught up.
Saga's so fucking good.
It's
Right,
so
Saga's
good.
awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing about Saga is like I got spoiled when I started Saga was I jumped in and read like the first
20
or whatever it was, and it was awesome. And then when we went month to month, it was very hard, and they took that giant break, and it was really hard jump starting myself to get back into it of like, where did we leave off, and what does this mean?
Worth it though.
Get in
Worth
there,
it to
Andy.
go back. Saga's still. I think Saga's one of the best written comic books out there right now.
Sure.
Or graphic
So yeah,
novels.
Saga's out this week. That's huge. Action Comics is going again. I've been enjoying. I mean, I'm a big fucking tights guy, in the way that they're going after the Superman Revenge Squad, actually fucking shit up for him. Outside of that, though, it's not like a great week for me in terms of books or whatever.
Right.
There's more and more stuff coming, but yeah, that's. I guess the next one. Have you been caught up on Iceman?
No.
Our friend Cinna Grace.
Okay.
Did Little Depressed Boy, so I was all about that.
Okay.
Did the
Oh, I
art
like
for
that
it.
a lot.
We worked forever at Skybound Entertainment, but a personal friend, I hang out with him whenever I get the chance. We're very busy people. This is issue 3 of Iceman's out now.
Okay.
And the take on this one is that Bobby's out. He's gay. Like this was a big deal. They made this change, and like it's this book, and it's been this interesting thing of him wrestling with the mutant powers and already being an outcast, and then also now being gay. He's arguably he's been gay the entire time, but having to have these conversations with people and having last issue he had a conversation, I believe, with Kitty Pryde, right? Because again, not the biggest Marvel guy, but trying having a conversation with her about like that his ex-girlfriend, and her being like upset that she had to find out about it through like I forget where it was, like some offhand information. He didn't come and tell her, and then she was like, that's why I'm mad. Not that you're gay, I'm mad.
He should have been like this. Ex-girlfriend. I don't owe you shit.
And
he's like, fuck you.
So I've been watching it,
That's cool.
enjoying
That
it.
sounds
I like
crazy.
Cinna obviously work a lot, and I know it looks like this is the one where he's going to go tell his parents. Because issue 1 was his dad was in the hospital. He showed up, talking to him. Some guy, they had to fight. He had to go be a mutant about that, and they were all fucking weird about him being a mutant.
Go be a mutant about that.
Yeah, I gotta go mutant it up over here and do that.
That's interesting because like the entire concept of the mutant really is just symbolism for
coming out story, being an outcast,
being an outcast, things like that. So it's interesting to see that sort of like double layer with it, where he has to grapple with both of those things, and like one gives him strength, and the other, well, I guess they would both give him strength depending on how you're looking at it. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Also, things I've caught up on since we talked last week. Tim was talking about the Ultimates, the Ultimate Universe version of the Avengers. Jumped in, read that, like it. It's a weird time capsule of the fact that the book was before the Marvel movies started, but it seems like it's making so many references to them. Of like, there's a joke about Rob being more blasted or whatever than Robert Downey Jr. and Nick Fury's like, Nick Samuel L. Jackson should play me in a movie or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is after. And you go check the dates. I'm like, no, this is before Iron Man.
Yep.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it's a cool interpretation, right? Yeah, and I like that Hulk is like,
A monster.
he's talking and he wants to fuck Betty and he's screaming about all this shit and he's gonna shit down Ant-Man's mouth or whatever, or Giant Man's mouth. And then it was like, how of course, I'm in the comic world, I catch all this. Actually seeing the Ant-Man Wasp domestic violence stuff, I was like, oh, okay, this is very disturbing and like them actually brawling and then him bringing the ants out on her. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
That's crazy.
That's about where I left off last night after like what would have been, I think, book 1. I went and read one more because I was like, is Wasp dead? What the fuck's happening? And then I left off where it's the one where Captain America figures out where he is or whatever, sees that he's in a bar on the location, and I think he's gonna go confront him, but I left off there. Interesting, I'm into it. I wanna read more. I felt it was weird for me as I think for those characters, I know way more because of the Marvel movies.
Sure.
So to come in knowing those characters so well, to get the Ultimates that are a little bit more rough and tumble around it, I was like, oh, interesting, this is weird, but enjoyable, so I'm into that. I read The Fix, Volume 1. This is a book I had picked up years ago. If you ever remember, when I go to a new comic shop, I like to buy stuff in different cities because then I feel like I'm supporting local businesses. And I was like, what's the one book I should read? And the guy's like, The Fix. I was like, great. And I grabbed it and then never read it because I got busy and never got to it. But the guy who draws The Fix saw my tweet and sent that guy at the comic book shop a personal art. It was like, hey, thanks for recommending the book, which was awesome. Getting down the rabbit hole. Read The Fix. Is one of those comics I think that was just overhyped.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, oh, The Fix is so fucking good, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, cool. And I jumped in, I was just like, man, it's good. And I want to read more, but it's like this, I don't know what I was expecting, I didn't know.
Right.
But it's this like, not heist book, but it's, these two criminals who are cops and how they like go and do the crime and then they go investigate the crime and they get all, and like it's a funny thing. And
That's
then like
cool.
they have to do this one thing. The villain in it, I say villain, the guy who does murder people and is in charge of like the whole, like he's like the, king of the organized crime or whatever, is like this super like 20s, even though it's not 2017, but 20 millennial guy of like talking about kale salads and he's a stay-at-home dad in this, but then he's fucking murdering people. And, like,
I like that.
being
That's
fucking
fun.
rough. It's funny and it's good, and I want to read more. I just think it was one of those that I let it build for too long of people saying this is going to be amazing, this is going to be amazing. And I got there and I was like, oh, this is enjoyable, but I think my expectations were too high for it. Also, then I caught up last week on issue 2 of Peter Parker, the new Spectacular Spider-Man thing. Still really great, still really funny. It's the antithesis of what's happening in Amazing, which Tim was talking about, how Amazing's ruined because he's Tony Stark or whatever, and this book is him just being Peter Parker, being Spider-Man again.
Right.
He goes on a date as Spider-Man.
Really?
Like in issue 1, he gets asked out by this girl, and he's like, yeah, sure. So then he goes on the date as Spider-Man, and he gets there and he puts on just a blazer over his Spider-Man outfit, and it's just a coffee shop, and they're just having this thing. And he's like,
awesome.
there's this great dialogue I'm about to butcher, where it's I wear this. He's explaining. I wear the costume to protect people, the people I love, and I don't want to expose you to who I really am because that. She's like, so you're gonna tell me that you showing up in the outfit you fight crime in isn't exposing me more? He's like, that's a great point. That's a really good point. This is fucking.
That's
It's
hilarious.
really good. It's got the Parker look, and it's
I
really
love
good.
that. That's very similar.
And speaking of Spider-Man, required reading for next week, because Tim is not here to stop me and I need people on my side, is Spider-Man Blue. Let's all read Spider-Man Blue. It is free on Comixology Unlimited right now. Remember, you can get a free trial. This is not an ad. You can get a free trial of Comixology Unlimited right now for 7 days or whatever. If you did it for Wicked and Divine, you should be able to still get in there and read Spider-Man Blue today. I want to see what everybody thinks. Well, next week we'll see what everybody thinks of it. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
You gonna read anything you're excited about?
Oh yeah, I've got to catch up on Saga.
Yeah.
It's exciting that you guys are doing this because it's getting me reinvigorated about this stuff. Everything you just listed was cool. I went down a rabbit hole the other night where I was like, oh, you know what? I picked up a book a long time ago called Chrononauts, which I always thought was really, really cool. And then I was like, I'm gonna read all of the Chrononauts, and I think there's only 4. I think that guy. I don't think they made more than that. I could be wrong, but if anyone in the chat, let me know. I looked for like 5 seconds. I couldn't find any more. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's no more of these. But it's a great concept. Are you familiar with this?
No.
The concept is that 2 guys get. We've developed these suits that can allow you to travel back in time, and there are these 2 like test pilots that go to do it.
Yeah.
And they're like super smart, super like physicists, whatever. And one of them goes and gets lost in time. So his buddy's like, shit, I got to go find my friend. He's lost in time, right? I got to go save him. And they can kind of track the suits and see through time with them. So there's like a feed being sent through back to them. And he goes to find his friend, and he gets assaulted by like these giant hordes of like this like giant like I think his friend went back to like medieval times or whatever it was. And he goes and like is about to die, and then a fucking like helicopter comes and like blows the hordes away, and he looks over, and it's just this vast like army of different times.
Okay.
Basically, his friend's like, no, I kind of orchestrated this because life sucks. My wife left me for another guy, and like now I can just exist in every single time and like be like he's like a shogun, he's a king, he's like running for the Senate in the 1920s and all this stuff, and he's like, I've just been waiting for you to find me. I want you to come hang out with me and go on this journey. And the other guy goes, okay.
That's
And like
rad.
turns off
That's
his
really
tracker,
cool. Yeah,
and they just go on these like basically like there's a shot of them having fun. Like there's just this montage picture of them having fun. And one of them's like flying an F-16 by a T-Rex. Like it's fucking hilarious because they can just go anywhere and do anything. And he's like a billionaire.
And it's only 4 issues?
I think
Was it
only
supposed to be a limited run? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, it could be more issues. I could only find 4 on Comixology.
Okay.
But it's from like 2015, so I don't think
I remember. I think that honestly is a book Cinna tried to turn me on to, where he gave me. I think I remember getting stuff from him.
It's a cool. I love the art style. It's a fucking awesome concept, and then of course like they're getting into trouble because they're assholes.
Yeah.
And like the guy has to keep like a board this size of all the women in his life. And then of course, like in all the time periods of like who they are and what they are, because he can't remember who they are. And like one of the women in the 1920s who's dating him is also like married to Lucky Luciano.
Okay.
Finds it, gets pissed off. And that's the volume I left off on. And so she's like, well, I'm fucking pissed.
Dude, that's
and so
fucking awesome.
Basically, he's
I'm
gonna start
buying
to
that
get in
right
trouble in every single time period that he's in.
Chrononauts.
And then of course there's a group of people from his real time period that are like, you can't do this. We have to go hunt him down.
Sure.
And they figured out how to track him down. So.
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
graphic novel, volume 1, 4 issues. You're right.
I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know if there's more.
Mark Millar. Let's see. Does it say here?
Mark Millar?
It's Millar. I'm assuming it's him. Who else writes it? You know what I mean?
See what people are saying.
Who else is Mark? Who else is? No one's gonna use the Millar name. Yeah, it's Mark Millar.
Kai Reed says Chrononauts was option B movie. Actually, it would be a fucking awesome movie. It's a great concept. It's super. It plays with. It plays with the one problem all time travel has, where people are like, you can't screw with the continuum. This guy's like, fuck it.
Fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm totally in for that too.
Like I think if I'm not
That's
mistaken,
your extra credit, not required reading, but Chrononauts is extra credit.
Save it for next week.
Nah, we already did it. It's too late. It's done.
Okay.
Trigger's been pulled. We said it.
Kyrie says
Once the
that's
words
all
come out of my
just one
mouth,
volume.
it's over. You know.
I don't know if that's the case.
It is, Kevin. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to go backwards? I can't go backwards in
Take it
time.
back.
I
Just
can't.
take it back.
Guys, I'd love to take it back. I can't. Let's jump into the tips.
Yeah. Before we do that, holy cow! It's Chris says I remember when the morning show used to be about nerdy news I need to know. We've been talking about comics forever. That's because it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. We talk about comics now. If that's not your cup of tea, totally understand. But
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We talk about the nerdy news you need to know.
and we talked about the nerdy news you need to know today
did.
too, as well.
It's just
Do
actually
you
a
give a
pretty slow
shit that
news
there's
day,
a
unfortunately.
ballerina movie that might be somehow attached to John Wick's dick? No, you don't. You wanted to hear about fucking Chrononauts ass.
Dang.
Alex gave us a healthy tip and said paying a belated birthday tax here. Hey Nick, any tips for building muscle? I'm a skinny guy, can't ever seem to gain weight. Any help would help.
No, find someone that knows what they're doing and work out with them when it comes to that. Like like Alfredo has talked about his struggles with actually having to put on muscle. It's a really hard thing. You have to eat a ton, and you have to set alarms for yourself and take weight gain or shit like that. That's not the problem I have. I have the opposite problem. So unfortunately, I can't help you out too much there.
Space Time gave a very healthy tip. Thank you very much. It said birthday tax. This is the first time I've ever posted on anything kind of funny. Not because I did not want to, but due to past experiences. I should do this more often, smiley emoticon. You should. You can do it in the chat for free, though. Don't worry about it. Trey Makes Movies gave a tip and said, was unable to watch the morning show for about a month, paying my absence tax. Absence tax.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, did you guys see Baby Driver? If so, what did you think? I didn't see it.
Kevin and I saw it.
I loved it.
Kevin loved it. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite Edgar Wright movie. I thought it had some issues.
Edgar Wright movie.
My favorite Edgar Wright movie is probably Shaun of the Dead, I would say.
Good pick. Very
Yeah.
good pick.
Yeah.
I think Scott Pilgrim, I think, is my favorite.
Scott Pilgrim more.
I really
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, great movie.
Is one of we should be a GOG topic because Scott Pilgrim rubbed me the wrong way. I fucking hate the main character. He's an asshole
save
at the
it,
beginning.
save this. This is
He's
a
an
good GOG.
asshole at the end. He has
It's a GOG
no
topic.
translation.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
I'm writing it down as a GOG topic.
I was going to write it down, too.
The comic book, I think, fixes that a little bit more.
Oh, I'm sure it
There's
does.
6 volumes, so.
I just didn't like Michael Cera's interpretation of it, I don't think. Or I just don't like the fact that, he's just kind of a prick the entire time, and then he gets paid out for it.
That's the character.
There you go.
Thanks.
No problem. Now you won't forget.
How much money do you owe him on this one?
No, that's not a ticket. That's just a note. Dan91 looks to be the final tip for right now until I read him after Kind of Funny Games Daily and says, it's LD1. Birthday tax time. Nick.
Yes.
Should the story of the Jackman off be made into a movie, how would you name it and who would direct it? Keep fucking that chick.
Oh, absolutely, because I feel like I'm just going to dominate Darren, especially since he hasn't actually engaged me on Twitter with Jackman off in about a week and a half.
Do you think it's because he realizes how badly he's beaten?
No, he's working a lot.
I think he just, yeah.
Oh, he's working.
He's got kids, family, a life, and a lot of excuses apparently
Sorry,
for why
so
he can't get his shit
I heard
together.
from a reliable source, we'll call him Sean P. Not too obvious. From S. Pitts, who said Darren doesn't do shit at IGN anymore. He's a hack. He's overblown.
That is not
Fran
true.
is the future.
He did not say that. I mean, Fran is the future. We all know that. But no, he has the utmost respect for Darren and speaks only highly of him. Those words are coming out of our mouth. We're throwing down that gauntlet, son.
We're saying Darren Brazil is worthless.
I worked out yesterday, and I've lifted more than I've ever lifted in the last 3 weeks. So that's good. Although I feel like my diet's plateauing. It's one of the things I want to talk about with the community.
The donut would jumpstart it.
No, it might not. No.
It might not, but
I
it might.
think it's a 1%. Actually,
This is a human trial. We've moved on.
it's funny you say that. Actually, a lot of low carb diets recommend that you do have
donut?
a cheat day where you you do carbs, like you throw your body into like what the fuck is this?
Make it burn it
and
all.
it resets your. I guess it resets the system.
Yeah.
Which I tried last week with pizza. I had a cheat meal
Yeah.
pizza when we were
Yeah.
doing the stream, but I think I fucked up and had too many artificial sweeteners, and it just kind of threw me off. Not that those are linked. It's just I drink those, and then I just drink too many of those, and I think my body doesn't react very well to them.
Time to shout out a best friend in the community. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to kindoffunny.com/bestfriend and nominate someone who's doing something awesome in the Kind of Funny community, and then we read it here each and every day. Today, Evans, a.k.a. Snave, a.k.a. Dork New York, a.k.a. Puppy Milk, is shouting out Kyle Stevenson. The July Kind of Funny NYC meetup just happened, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. But Kyle personally reached out to me to remind me about it a few weeks ago. He specifically remembered that I was bummed out about missing the previous one, and that shit means a lot to me. My IRL friends barely remember stuff I care about, but this guy I've never met did remember. Shouts out to Kyle Stevenson. Shout out to Kyle Stevenson, his multicolored beard.
I see Kyle Stevenson all the time on Twitter.
It's one color still. It's just green.
Is it still green? But it like washes it out sometimes, right? And then redoes it. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's gotta be a color that's not there when
I
it's
thought you
washed
were saying it
out.
was a rainbow.
No, I'm sorry. Look,
Ever change?
it's a beard of 1,000 colors. Is that what they call that stupid
that is
thing
what they
in
call
Wizard
it.
of Oz?
Yeah, a lot of people call it that.
Okay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny morning show each and every weekday here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news we want to talk about before jumping to the chat to answer questions, comments, and concerns. But in between those segments, I reach in the internet, grab a video game, toss it to one of you. How do you win? It's simple. Be in the chat like so many of you are right now, or subscribe to us here on Twitch. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, and if you don't use that $5, give it away every 30 days, Amazon pockets it. And we hate that. We hate it that Amazon steals money from you. Never let them do it. They already take all the other money. Get it back. Give it to us. Subscribing to us gets the Kind of Funny logo next to your name. Cool emotes, private chat time with us. It gets you to play multiplayer games with me, or maybe Andy one day, Destiny 2. And it gets the show ad-free unless we're baking them in. We're baking one in though, right?
We are making one in today.
All right,
yes.
cool, just making sure. Oh, we're baking two in today. Is that right?
Oh.
Kev, do you know, is that right? Is this up to date?
I'll verify.
Thank you, because it says that, but there's no other ad there. If there's two ad reads, we'll give away 2 games. If there's one, there's one. You know, calm down. You can also win, of course, by going to patreon.com/kindoffunny or patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. The $2 level and above gets you entered to win everything we give away here, and you don't have to be here. It's great. There's 2?
Yep.
Tell Tim to put in the text for
Yeah, we don't
what the
have
other
a
one
second ad
is.
read for Verve.
No information in there for Verve.
Okay.
So we're gonna give away 2 games today. Remember, if you're watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunny or podcast services around the globe, please come over to Twitch, subscribe there, follow there, go everywhere. Subscribe to everything. Whatever you're using is great, but then use the other things and it's great. So everybody has a great time. So let's do the first ad read and give away the first game. Just the one now. Okay. We're gonna give away a Walk in the Dark on Xbox One. But before I tell you who won, I'm gonna jump into and tell you that this show is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get a great shave at a great price, conveniently delivered to your door. You no longer have to schlep to the store to buy a cheap disposable razor that gives you a cheap shave, or spend a fortune on razors with gimmicky tech that you don't need. What is this, goo? Remember that commercial from that other razor commercial? I'll never forget it. What is this, goo? Tim uses it. He doesn't use goo. He uses Dollar Shave Club. It gets it nice and tight.
He does.
G always comes in and she rubs it and goes, "Oh, you're so nice and tight." And
It's
then Tim
so
does this to
smooth
the
you want
camera
to
and goes,
lick it. You know what I mean?
What?
So smooth you want to lick it.
You double down on it. I thought you'd change.
No.
No, you want to lick Tim's shaven parts.
So smooth you want to lick it.
I didn't see enough things about your brown man friends last night.
Well, you tried. Not for
did.
lack of trying,
All
my
right,
friend.
okay. For a limited time, new members of the Dollar Shave Club get their first month free with the executive razor and a tube of their Dr. Carver shave butter for only $5 with free shipping. After that, razors are just a few bucks a month. That's a $15 value for only $5. In your first month box, you get an awesome weighty blade, a full cassette of 4 cartridges, and a tube of their shave butter. After your first month, replacement cartridges ship automatically at their regular price. There's no hidden fees, no commitments. You can cancel anytime. You can get this offer exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/morning. That's dollarshaveclub.com/morning. A Walk in the Dark on Xbox One is going to Patreon game subscriber Michael Woods. One of you sending that out, I assume? Joey? Somebody? I don't know how that works anymore on the show.
Kevin, can you send him an email? Thank you.
Time to jump into the 3 and 3, the patented Moriarty 3 and 3, where we go into the chat, answer 3 people questions, 3 subscriber questions, then we get ready for Kind of Funny Games Daily. Let's see if there's about comic stuff here. There's comic stuff in here, you know? No, they want to talk about CrossFit. Sanch Bear says, Nick, I joined a new CrossFit gym in Marin a few weeks ago, and I'm seeing decent gains already. Check out Revival Strength. The main coach is the spitting image of Chris Hemsworth.
Zyger1337 says, hey
You have
guys.
nothing to say to that?
What's that?
It's all about you. No, I'm not reading the CrossFit comment for my help.
Oh, I'll check that out for sure. Zyger's making us aware that we accidentally read the same best friend shout out for today that we did on another day. I guess someone forgot to remove it.
Joey!
If you're saying someone,
Wasn't highlighted on
Joey Noel!
I've been doing
Shame!
it for a week.
Shame!
I can't be.
Shame!
shame,
Shame!
shame,
Shame!
shame.
Shame.
She's doing this weird thing where she's sticking her middle fingers up at us. I don't understand what that's for.
I don't know what that means.
We will.
You want to put another one in
yeah,
there,
throw
Joey?
another one in there if you
I'll
don't mind, Joe. Thanks. We'll do it again.
Actually, you know what? I'm Greg Miller, and I'm nominating Zyger for pointing out the fact.
Awesome.
He's the best friend of the day for pointing out that we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Good job, Zyger.
Whoa. Lero5 says, hi, Greg. I just picked up Marvel Unlimited in order to get comics for the first time. Do you have any recommendations? I'm fucking lost, and I don't know where to start. All right, so who's your favorite Marvel comic character? Go ahead and Google best Spider-Man books, best any of that stuff, and jump in and then find the best collections there and go. I recommend, oops, sorry, hit the mic, Spider-Man Blue. That's our required reading for next week, so jump in there. That's on there. You can read that. I know Kevin and Tim love Ultimate Spider-Man. You start at issue 1 and go from there. You'll be great. I like Ms. Marvel. If you jump there, Kamala Khan, go from issue 1. I love Spider-Gwen. It's a controversial opinion. There's good stuff there. Ultimates is fun right now. I'm reading. Don't be intimidated. Just jump in and try it. Ooh, Superior Iron Man by Tom Taylor. All New Wolverine by Tom Taylor. There you go. That's all. You got a lot to read. Go read it.
Chris Chun97 says, guys, since HBO is adapting Watchmen into a series, do you plan on revisiting the book? Any thoughts on how it'll turn out? I don't plan on revisiting the book, but I'm very excited about it. I think it's a great format for Watchmen.
I've read Watchmen a bunch. I don't need to read it again.
Yeah. Kev, you gonna read Watchmen again?
No, but I'll probably look into the before Watchmen stuff.
Interesting.
Just because it exists, and why not have it?
Are you at all? You're a Watchmen fan, right?
Big fan.
How do you feel about the whole Doomsday stuff happening over at DC, where
I'm.
Dr. Manhattan showing up to fuck up the world?
I mean, it's interesting that they're going to be incorporated into the larger DC universe.
Yeah.
We'll see how that all pans out.
I'm looking forward to it.
Is Rorschach going to be not dead?
Well, they talk about Dr. Manhattan coming to fuck shit up. Mm-hmm. So, like, you figure with as powerful as we left him in his multiverse world.
But isn't Ozymandias also coming, or
we'll see.
Anyway,
it's one of those where I look at it, but then I want to read it. I don't need to have it all spoiled for me. Nightway11 says, hey Nick, I'm a skinny fat guy that is unhappy with his body. Do you have any workout routine recommendations that I can do at the gym since I have no idea what to do?
No, I don't. What I would say is find a friend or find someone that can help mentor you through that process, because it's a lot more fun and positive than going in there and trying to do your own workout. A lot of people think weightlifting is easy. It is. Relatively easy, but if you don't do it with proper form, you will hurt yourself. So I would recommend finding someone that you can hang out with that might, give you at least a few weeks of training for free or for a lower cost, and go do that. Don't watch YouTube videos and then go do that. It's just a bad idea. Someone needs to watch your form and make sure you're not going to hurt yourself. Plus, you'll get better gains from it if someone's there with you.
We jumped into sub-only mode. This is one of the benefits of being a subscriber here. Thank you so much. Ryan Santilli says, Greg, have you ever had any interest in reading any manga titles? Here and there. I read the Ghostbusters manga. I read that one, My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, recently. And then back in the day when Hillary would get all these free books back at IGN, I remember I read Puri Puri, volume 1 through like 6 or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, that was fine, but it's not a I like it enough, but they all kind of seem the same. So not all, but you know, that's a broad brush.
Right.
No, I don't. Other than the occasional one, I don't.
People are YT7953 says, hey Greg and Nick, didn't fuck up and say Tim this time, appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm in between shows right now except for Game of Thrones every Sunday, but any recommendations for Netflix shows? I heard Ozark was really good and similar to Breaking Bad. A lot of people are talking about Ozark right now. I watched the trailer for it over the weekend. My wife and I are looking for something else to get into, and it looks really good, but man, it looks fucking like dense. It looks intense.
Okay.
Like the whole thing, like it just has this like blue film over it. Like it's going to be the most depressing thing ever. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Apparently, it has to do with a guy who's got a lawyer. I think he's a lawyer, an accountant, who has to launder money for a drug dealer. He has to launder like $500 million in like a year, or else the guy's going to kill his family. So it's just it's all of
He's
that.
a bad lawyer, right?
Oh,
Like
he's-
he was doing that already.
Oh yeah. I think he just fucked up or somehow got leaked into this. So it's going to be one of those stories. I think that's really intense. It sounds cool.
I
But
know,
don't know.
that he said Netflix, but he mentioned Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He's of course leaving off the, I believe,
Best thing on TV right now.
Oscar-winning motion picture that they then put on television, Ballers.
Right.
I watched Ballers season 3, episode 1 last night.
Did you watch it?
I'm back. I mean, I never left, but Ballers is back. The Rock is back.
Ballers is one of those things that like I don't.
You?
That's
Kev,
not-
you're falling off hard.
Yeah.
You've done, and it's rare that Greg
Donut
Miller.
days do.
Huh?
This is what donut days do.
I'm just saying, Greg Miller's not trying. I just know how proud you are of your weight.
Friends and family. When you send us donuts, I eat them. Don't send us donuts.
Keep sending donuts. It's
Fair enough. Yeah, Ballers is one of those things that it comes back and I'm like, oh, Ballers is back.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, and the final question of the day comes from Skinonuts. Says, what the fuck is Kevin doing? And that's a question I ask every day. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kinda Funny Morning Show. Remember, each and every weekday here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, we come to you with the nerdy news we think you should care about. And then we jump into comics and do that stuff on Wednesday. Required reading is Spider-Man Blue. Kinda Funny Games Daily is next. And in between those two things, Nick will read all the tips and subs we missed. Remember, after Kinda Funny Games Daily, I'll do the same. I believe you guys are doing another Attack
We
on
are
Titan.
doing another Attack on Titan
After
watch
Kinda
along.
Funny. You got nowhere to go. You
So
just
stick
park it
around,
here on
everyone.
Twitch.
We're gonna watch
Park it
that.
here on Twitch, do that. So yeah, if you can subscribe, like, follow, share, hit up Kevin, send his mom flowers, that'd be great. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Why flowers?
Your mom likes flowers.
She does.
Tell us from me though.
Bye.